As we start the international break, the conversations about Man United are on the injured players and when they are expected back in, because there is hope that the moment we do come back from the international break to take on Southampton in our first game on the 14th of September, some of these key players, especially a left back and our number one target man, should be back and fit. But what exactly is going on? What's the status of these players? I'm here to give you an update on the injury of both Luke Shaw and Rasmus Højlund. My name is Webb. Welcome to the United of Sport. Like, share, and subscribe. Now, we know that both of these did not go with their national teams for the international break as expected because they are injured. Certainly, you don't expect them to play, while injured. But the good news is that Rasmus Højlund is working hard to return on time because the scheduled date on his injury return plan is the 14th of September. Now, at times players have setbacks. Højlund is trying to work hard to ensure that there are no setbacks because he's fired up and hungry to return and start banging in the goals or continue banging in the goals like he did last season. So it's probably a bad place for him, knowing that, first of all, he was just given the shirt number 9. There is a new striker brought in Joshua Zirkzee. During preseason, he scored a goal against Arsenal. That will count for nothing. He sees there's so many chances created. He did not have so many of these for himself to convert last season. He tried to grind most of the goals he scored. Well, the hope is that he will return, be fit soon, and find this team perhaps in even a better element than they are at right now, so that he tries to bang in as many goals as he possibly can. Now, for Luke Shaw, he was also expected to return on the 14th of September when we take on Southampton. And of course, everything seemed to be okay, but there seems to be certain people who are hinting on the fact that there will be setbacks. Now, whether these are based on facts, these are allegations are based on facts, or based on what history has shown, that whenever Luke Shaw is almost returning, there's always a setback, and he doesn't. It will remain to see. But for me, what I know for now is that Luke Shaw is expected to be back on the 14th of September as well. Might not perhaps start the game because, again, you don't want to quickly reintroduce him, but Luke Shaw is certainly an important player for Manchester United. Now, there is now another emerging concern that people are beginning to give Erik ten Hag ultimatums. And of course, these ultimatums are based on when the entire squad is fit and available. That if you don't win, they will judge him and assess his performances as a manager when we have a full house. Now, a full house means Lenny Yoro is back, especially with the new signings. Lenny Yoro is back. Luke Shaw is back. We've got a natural left back playing on the left. Rasmus Højlund is in, and all are fit. Manuel Ugarte is in. The Ligt is already in. Now, there is hope that when the squad is full, the team will play well. If it doesn't, that's when they will perhaps assess and pull the trigger. In fact, some people are saying that by Christmas, they should be able to establish that. Now, it's a few months to Christmas, but it's not so far away from Christmas. If you look at it in the context of or in the perspective of Erik ten Hag and what we've seen with him, because the impact that Erik ten Hag has on this team in certain key areas has proven to always be subtle. Things for him take a bit of time, and he's not in a rush to try and impact anything. But even the players are not in a rush to learn from the things he's teaching them and stuff. So so Christmas might sound so far, but if you think about it, we're in September. Those are just 3 months away, or just under 4 months away. It's not a lot of time for him, considering if we consider how slow most of our impact, the positive impact we've seen Erik ten Hag bring to the club has been. So in terms of playing and performances. So it's going to be, I think, a critical period coming up. And I think the moment we have, especially Lenny Yoro, who will be back sometime in the end of, I think in October, in mid-October, we have Luke Shaw in and 100% fit, and Rasmus Højlund, then we should have a proper idea of how Erik ten Hag and Man United will are headed, whether we are headed in the right direction or not. And now, that said, for me, I feel like this is the time when we need to get to see how creative Erik ten Hag can be. Now, yes, we might still have a few injury concerns here and there, and the issues we try to solve by bringing in Gary O'Driscoll, the Arsenal guy, yeah, are still there, because I mean he's yes the head of sports science, but the people working under have been there for years. We've not really brought in the real people who would deal with these players directly on a daily basis. Or like for example Rasmus Højlund, who is now working on his fitness. Who is he working with directly? Is he a new guy? Because we're talking of changes and trying to help players with the injuries. So most of these players, these guys are guys who have been there for 5, 6 years. So really, there is little to no change when it comes to that direct impact in the injury department, if you know what I mean, or in the health department. That's why I'm calling the injury department. If last season is anything to go by, but for me, my feeling is that even then, a good manager has got to be crafty, has got to be creative to find solutions from within. You cannot just be complaining about injuries all the time. I think we've had enough of that song. That chorus has been sung enough. And you cannot say, at least with all the so many, almost 19 players who are let go of, from the club, we cannot say that we've still failed to trim this squad to a reasonable squad that should be able to compete and win games of football despite having a few of our top signings. For me, I'll take it back to the management team. They should be able to create and come up with a competitive squad, because what that would mean is that the so-called senior guys are the ones who are going to play everything if you're going to win anything, and it can't happen. They cannot play all season. They've got to be rested. Even Kobe has got to be rested at times. So the little Toby Colliers and all these other players who are not out and out starters should be integrated into the squad to a level where even when the senior players are not there, not many of them are in there, they can still try to keep us to that level. The issue comes when we completely capitulate when we don't have a few senior players. Like the difference is day and night. And for me, that goes back to the manager. The gulf in quality between the starters and the backup players cannot be day and night. It cannot be that huge. That gulf in quality cannot be that huge. It's impossible. It shows you that either we have the wrong players in, because why do we have players who lift us up to Champions League levels? Then when they are injured, one or two of them are injured, the guys who come in take us to a third tier club, because that's what we look like sometimes, and it's inexplainable. But if as a manager you've created a template and an atmosphere, it is easy for even the not very experienced or big name players to come in and fit and try to keep the levels close to where the full senior squad or the full starting squad puts them. So uh, me, that's what I think. So these are excuses this season for me. Yes, the injuries are there, and Hoyland might not be might not be there for now. Luke Shaw might take long to return if there's a setback, indeed, like it's alleged. But for me, I think these should not be big excuses. Don't tell me about having no natural left back. You can switch creatively and play with the back three. That's the thing. A good manager, you try to creatively come up with. For me, football has so many ways of playing. As a good manager, be creative, play with the back three, and come up with a formation that suits most of the fit players you have, the available players. We cannot just be complaining about not having a natural left back day and night. No, 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 no. That's not right. Jean-Claude Blo has been appointed on the European Football Association board. That's one of the Ineos guys, one of our top guys at Man United, a board member with Ineos, who was acting CEO before Omar Beradei's arrival. Now he's been appointed on the Football Association, European Club Association rather board. That's according to a report that has just come through. So beautiful stuff there. Perhaps it's to the advantage of Man United, but that's the power of money and what it means if you have a big owner like Sir Jim. There could be some bit of influence there. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. There is also a report that is suggesting that there are talks of Antony being loaned. There are talks of Antony going out on loan, most probably in out of the Premier League, and it is believed that there were a few clubs who are interested in Antony, and he personally ruled out the idea of going to Real Betis, saying he's staying at Man United. But of course, it cannot be entirely about him. But there are reports suggesting that there could be plans to loan him out to Turkey. That Fenerbahce could be interested in getting him out on loan. So, guys, the clean out is not done. I think we hinted on this before, that there's a possibility that some players could head out on loan. And Antony and Christian Eriksen could be among those, whereas Antony seemed to deny this earlier. There's a report coming through suggesting that Fenerbahce is interested. We'll monitor that story. Of course, I'll be back to try and give you more on it. For now, it's just a developing story. Let's wait and see how it goes. But the key thing is the injury situation and all these excuses that I'm personally so tired of. Forget about it. We need results. My name is Webb. Like, share, and subscribe.